If you've ever tuned into a major football match, you've seen it. 22 of the world's most elite athletes, multimillionaires with ice in their veins, walking out onto the grass, under the bright lights, holding hands with a bunch of nervous, smiling 7-year-olds. It's one of the most iconic images in sports, but if you're a casual fan, it's also one of the weirdest. Imagine LeBron James or Tom Brady coming out for a championship game while holding hands with a random second grader. It sounds like a joke, but in football, it's a sacred tradition. So why do they do it? Is it for luck? Is it a legal requirement? Or is there a darker, more tactical reason hidden beneath the cuteness? Today, we're breaking down the mystery of the player escorts, from the secret origins of the tradition to why it's actually a genius move for the 2026 World Cup. To understand this, we have to look back at how football used to be. Decades ago, football stadiums were not exactly family-friendly environments. In the 70s and 80s, especially in Europe, matches could be incredibly intense, and not always in a good way. Crowd trouble was common. The atmosphere was often aggressive. Families didn't really go to games. The player escort tradition actually started as a massive PR campaign to fix that. The idea was simple. If you put a child next to a giant, intimidating athlete, it humanizes the game. It's a psychological trick. It's hard for a crowd to throw things or scream insults when there are 22 kids standing right there. It was a signal to the world that football was changing. It was becoming a family sport. By the time the 2002 World Cup in South Korea and Japan rolled around, FIFA, the organization that runs the World Cup, partnered with UNICEF. They launched a campaign called Say Yes for Children. The goal was to use the most watched event on the planet to promote children's rights. From that moment on, the walking out with kids thing became the global standard. But here's where it gets interesting for the casual viewer. These kids aren't just there for the cameras. They serve a very specific, almost buffer role. Think about the pressure of a World Cup final. The players are vibrating with adrenaline. The fans are screaming. It's pure chaos. Then, they have to stand in a line for the national anthems. Having a child to look after actually helps players stay grounded. Many players have said it reminds them that at the end of the day, it's just a game. Now, you might be wondering, who are these kids? Are they the players' children? Sometimes, yes. If a player is celebrating a major milestone or a retirement, they'll often bring their own son or daughter onto the pitch. It's a beautiful moment. But 99% of the time, these kids are total strangers to the players. In the past, these spots were often given to children from local schools or youth football clubs. It was a reward for excellence. But as football became a multi-billion-dollar industry, the mascot spots became incredibly valuable. In the English Premier League, some teams actually charge parents money for their child to walk out with the team. We're talking hundreds, sometimes over $1,000 for a few minutes of walking. It's controversial, but it shows just how much people want that experience. However, for the World Cup, it's usually different. Most of the kids you see at a World Cup are there through massive sponsorship contests. For example, McDonald's has been a huge partner for years, running player escort programs where kids from all over the world win a trip of a lifetime to stand on that field. For a kid who loves the sport, standing next to someone like Lionel Messi is like a basketball fan getting to stand next to Michael Jordan in his prime. It's the ultimate I was there moment. And here's a fun fact you probably didn't notice. There is a strict height rule. If a kid is too tall, they block the player's jersey and the sponsor logos on the player's chest. If they're too short, they can't keep up with the professional athlete's walking pace. There's literally a scout for these kids to make sure the visuals are perfect for TV. But it's not always kids. In recent years, we've seen teams break the tradition to send a powerful message. In 2015, a team in the Netherlands walked out with lingerie models for Mother's Day, which went about as well as you'd expect. On a much more serious note, teams have walked out with elderly fans to highlight loneliness, or with shelter dogs to encourage adoption. The point is that walk from the tunnel to the center circle is the most valuable real estate in sports broadcasting. Billions of people are watching that specific 60-second window. By putting kids there, football is telling a story. It's saying that the sport belongs to the next generation. For Americans getting ready for the 2026 World Cup, this is something you're going to see in every single city, from Los Angeles to New York. It's a tradition that bridges the gap between the ruthless intensity of professional sports and the pure joy of being a kid. So, the next time you see a massive center back holding the hand of a tiny kid in an oversized jersey, remember, it's not just a cute photo op. It's a shield against stadium violence, a massive marketing machine, and a reminder that every professional on that field started out as a kid with a ball and a dream. Football is the world's game because it stays connected to its roots, even when those roots are only 4 feet tall. If you're starting to fall in love with the beautiful game before 2026, hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down every weird tradition, every complex rule, and every reason why this sport captures the world, one video at a time. See you in the next one.